Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Open Table Adventures. I am Dan the Baker, and we are here today with another episode of Eat This Game here at PAX Unplugged. And I am here with the amazing Emily Graymore with their game, The Cunning Folk. Tell us who you are and what is this?
Well, so I'm Emily Graymore, and this is The Cunning Folk. It is a TTRPG about getting to be the little guy, but also the giant horrific monster, getting their revenge on heroes and mankind alike. It's turning the monster hunter trope on its head. So you get to do the hunting instead this time, which is very fun.
Love that. Yeah. Also, who are you, and what are some other things people might know you from?
Sorry. So I am a voice actor, game designer, illustrator. Unbalanced Encounters is the biggest thing you'll probably find me on, and I do various characters and things there. I also do a lot of the illustration work for Unbalanced Encounters. I've done book layout for various other TTRPGs as well. But yeah, you'll find me on TikTok mostly, and Blue Sky is where you will find me. But yeah, I get around. Yeah.
And yeah, we had Patrick on a couple weeks ago to talk about
my lovely husband.
Yeah, your lovely husband, Misfortunate Four. Which is out now and is amazing. But enough about them. Patrick's not here. They're here somewhere, but let's talk about the Cunning Folk. So what? Let's talk about the nitty gritty, the system. Like, what is the actual what are the rolling and the things that you do for it?
So the system, with a little bit of help from Patrick, funnily enough, but he's the maths mind behind, I want to have fun, and he's like, here's how we make that work in real life. So thank you to Patrick for making it usable. But basically, you just have a bunch of d6. Your pool grows as you level up, and the success, the GM will say, based on how complicated the thing it is that you want to do, will say you need X amount of successes, and roll the dice, and a success is a 4, 5, or 6. So it's a 50-50 chance whether you will reach that number of successes, depending on how hard it is, I suppose. Maths is not my forte. So if you get the right amount of successes, you succeed, you get to do the thing, no problems, you explain how you do it, wonderful. If you don't get enough successes, it's okay. It just doesn't work out quite how you expected, but you get a point of luck to use next time. But if you do too many successes, then you over-succeed, you were seen doing what you were doing, and then you level back down, which is the interesting dynamic of the Cunning Folk, where you are constantly in flux of leveling up and down throughout play. Which may seem like a bad thing, but I promise you it's not. There are pros and cons to being big and small. So when you first start out, you are level 1 and you are a tiny little guy. And then throughout play, you can get up to level 5, where you become very large physically and magically. In power, you grow as well. Obviously, when you're very big, it's harder to do things without being seen. And so you're more likely to have to shrink back down, but you have more access to more power and more magic. And then when you're littler, you can't do as many things, but you can get away with being more cheeky, which is great fun. So it's
I find that element specifically, the leveling down aspect, so unique and interesting. I've never seen that in a game before, of that's a part of the game and also not something that you are fully against.
Yes. I wanted it to be fun going back down. I wanted it to be good on both ends of the scale. I didn't want it to be a punishment going back down the other way. And I just feel like being a fey creature, you're constantly shifting and you're constantly moving around. You are kind of a magic being. Sometimes you are large and vengeful. Sometimes you're just cheeky and mischievous.
Just a little guy.
Just a little guy. And I could decide on which one I wanted to be, so why not be both?
Of course. It's bisexuality at its finest.
Right.
100%. What are some what are some, I guess, game touchstones? If someone's if you played this game, you would love the Cunning Folk, either TTRPG or video game or anything.
Yes. So my brain first goes to if you're a D&D player and you love being in the Feywilds and you thought, I want to be the Fey for once. That's you're gonna love this game. For kind of game mechanics, it was originally, when I designed it, was going to be a Powered by the Apocalypse game. It was going to have playbooks, so it does kind of work very similarly like that. You choose your playbook or archetype, and then you have a list of things that you can do that change as you level up. So I'd say Powered by the Apocalypse games is probably very, very similar in this. Again, sort of just D6s. And vibe-wise, I would say Vesson. Vesson was the reason I made this game.
Oh, wow.
It came out.
I can see that. Now that you say that, I'm like, oh wow, that is very Vesson.
Yes. When Vesson came out, I was so hyped because I thought I would finally get to, like, the creatures in Vesson are so incredible and I love them so much. But then when it was like, oh, you're just dispatching them again or dealing with them or kind of getting rid of them in a very Monster of the Week kind of fashion, I was kind of sad. So out of spite, I made the
Yeah, so it's made in spite of Vesson.
In spite of Vesson. Yeah. So I love Vesson dearly, and I have Vesson, one of my favorite games. But this was
Inspire and Inspite are only one letter apart. So
yes.
And I think I just solved something somewhere.
Truly, I think spite fuels more invention than those things. Yes, so those are definitely Vesson and Powered by the Apocalypse games, Monster of the Week, that kind of thing, for sure.
Yeah. Talking more about the like thematic elements of it, what were some of your inspirations with that? Because like obviously it has that kind of like that fairy tale, folksy, the hidden people, you know, sort of thing. Like what did you, or is that something you've always had an interest in or like a connection to?
Yeah, being English, I can't not be kind of adjacent to folklore and all of its kind of shapes and sizes. But
I didn't want to assume.
No, you're fine. I kind of grew up on all those kind of fairy tales, obsessed with like the Grimm brothers, fairy tales, things like that. But so obviously the Cunning Folk is very heavily influenced by those kind of things. I wanted to make sure when I wrote it and designed it that it wasn't a Western fairy tale only kind of aesthetic. I explicitly lay out in this book that the archetypes that I chose have been picked from archetypes and tropes from folklore across the globe. So like tricksters are everywhere in mythology and folklore, and those kind of stories I encourage players to pull from cultures that that they know, that you know, I want it to be inclusive, and also create your own folklore, right? If you have something that you want to do that isn't represented in anything you've ever heard of, do that. I didn't want it to be sort of very Western, British Isles, folklore centric, because there's a lot of those games. And I think there's more. I mean, listen, I like that kind of folklore, but I think there is interesting folklore so much more folklore from across the world. So the Cunning Folk is basically just a kind of, my brain went to coloring book of it gives you some outlines and you can color it however you want. So that's how I feel about the folklore in this, but very heavily inspired by my upbringing in the British Isles for sure, and my obsession with that kind of thing.
You can feel that that's like the heart of it for sure, but you can definitely tell it's like you can find the inspiration kind of everywhere. I was like looking through it, I was like, oh, this could definitely be like kind of like the Appalachian folklore and like that kind of stuff, which finds its roots in a lot of like English and Irish folklore, so that makes sense.
Had a really cool someone did a one shot of it, and they had a very African inspired sort of crocodile fae god, and it was really, really cool. So like I encourage heavily that kind of thing, you know, if you want kitsune and things like that, go for it, it'll fit in here for sure.
So what would a session or campaign of this game, like what would it look like? Like how does, you know, people, like how do like players and stuff interact with each other? Like how do you think it should go?
So obviously play it how you want. But the way that I've written it to kind of like help you play is that there'll be a group of you. I suggest maybe like 3 or 4 is probably like a good number of players, and then 1 storyteller or GM. But I mean, do what you want. And those players, so the folk that they play, get together and they decide as a group the one person they have beef with. So they decide, okay, there's a guy, a king, let's say, and they decide together how he upset each and every one of them, so that they are all equally invested in his downfall. So they each have a personal grudge against this one person, and they work together to make his life miserable. It could be a long, drawn-out misery. It could be a very sudden, quick death. However is satisfying for the group, they get to work on that. So there's they get together, decide, hey, this guy pissed us off. He pissed you off too? Oh my God, let's get him. And then finding out what makes him tick. So there's like an investigatory phase. So they go into the village, the palace, wherever it might be, find out all of his quirks, what he cares about the most, really kind of like where they can hurt him. And then there's the kind of finale, which is putting plans into action in whatever glorious ways they want to do that. And of course, that can be, it's designed for kind of very one shot, like very episodic, because you're fluctuating in size and level, that you don't have to worry about progression in a sort of leveling sense. So you could either do it in just like a quick few hours, like a 3-4 hour one shot, or you could really space it out. There's no, I wouldn't say it's designed for like long campaigns. Unless you had, I know right in the book, unless you find out the person you thought was the problem actually wasn't, and it's a bigger conspiracy, and then you want to do something like really crazy with it. I mean, obviously the world is storyster in that regard, but like definitely I'd say 2, maybe 3 a push sessions on kind of like as it is, unless you really wanted to kind of like make something really meaty out of it. But that's generally what it is.
No, it's a very fun game. It's a gorgeous game. Also,
Thank you.
The art is amazing. I'll have some
very much.
floating around here. Did you do all of the art yourself?
Did. Yes. I am very very proud of it. It's one of those things as an artist, you know, you're like for the perfectionism of just like I could have done that a little bit better, but no. As the first thing I've ever produced and the first game I've ever found, I'm incredibly proud of it. Yes.
It's definitely it is very, like I said, the art is gorgeous. It's very well put together, well designed.
Thank you
it like, this is a random thing, but even just like the size and shape of it, I was like, this is a storybook.
Yes.
This is
like, it has to be square. And Patrick's like, are you sure you want it to be square? It's gonna be more expensive. It's like, I don't care, it has to be square. It has to be square. For sure.
You pay for it. You pay for the perfection that you want, you know?
That's it. I mean, the next step is I'm already kind of putting together plans to do a version 2, which is going to be hardback. So I want it to be really looking like that Hans Christian Andersen sort of storybook style, color illustrations.
Adding the like gilded, like, oh,
it's gonna be
gorgeous.
so good. And also working on some individual short stories from some indie and personal color authors to go in the back of the book for inspiration, and also just as like cute little fairy tale stories in the back. So that's the kind of thing I'm working on for version 2. So I think it'll be really cute. So
seems great.
I don't know when, but we'll see.
It is. It's a work in progress. It's
yes.
We're busy people. We got stuff to do, people to see.
100%. Conventions to come to.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had a question in my brain and it went out.
No, you're good. You're good.
I'm only a third of the way through my coffee, so that's, you know.
I've had like 2 sips. And I'm like, yes. Simple game.
What are some, like, you know, talking about like version 2 and stuff like what are some, I guess, like goals you have just for the game as a whole?
So I aspire, I think it's probably a very silly aspiration. I don't know. I mean, shoot for the stars and hit the moon, right? I would love to get it to a position like Wander Home is a huge sort of like inspiration in that regard for me, because I would love to be up there with Wander Home in the ranks of things. It's a square book which inspired me. I love the artwork and it's stunning. I don't think it'll ever be as chunky as that book, but I think
it's a chunker for sure.
That if I could even get to a 10th with the second iteration of what Wander Home looks like and feels like as a book to hold, and even just as like an art book, that I think that's where I want to get to for sure. I think that's a huge inspiration for me.
Did you
we'll see.
just like kind of like this just popped in my mind, but the art style and like all that, it feels very similar in vibe to Perils and Princesses.
Oh,
Lynch.
Ryan is a bestie of mine.
We played Perils and Princesses with Ryan at Gen Con
we did
last year.
Yes, we did. Yeah. We did. He, I will say, has been a font of wisdom. Whenever I've reached out to ask for advice, he's been right there to help me out, especially with the whole like, how does Kickstarter do what it does? How
does any of this work?
Who do you use for printing, bro? Tell me all of your secrets. So, I mean, Perils and Princesses, Brian's art, especially with the night market that just came out.
Yes, gorgeous game.
Adore it. That's so up this alley. If you've played any Perils and Princesses night market stuff, like, 100%. I don't think I'll ever be. I don't want to ever try and emulate Ryan's artwork, but he's definitely inspired me with the way he can capture the character so well, and that's something that I'm still learning to do. I'm still kind of like, I feel like in the early steps of my art journey. Did it a lot as a kid and then stopped for real world work, business rubbish, and then picked it up again sort of really for this. So by the time I do the second one, my artwork probably will have shifted a little bit more and changed in its style. But yeah, his artwork is great. I love it. He's a very talented man. He did the rebranding from Balanced Encounters. So if you see all of that, he's very talented. Hire him now. Not plugging anyone. Hire Ryan. Yes. 100%.
So the last question I have to ask, the one question I ask all of my guests here, if you were to just take a bite out of the Cunning Folk, chew on it a little bit, what does it taste like? What's the flavor? What's the mouthfeel? What do you think?
The first thing that comes to mind is beetroot. I don't like beetroot, but that's not to say I don't like my game. I think it's because beetroot to me tastes like earth.
Yes.
And I think that very kind of like roots in the ground, kind of storytelling. I feel like, I don't know why the beetroot just resonates so strongly with me.
I see it for sure.
That guy's kind of dark and like that blood kind of staining, because this has a very sort of dark humor about it. Has that
grit to it. Root vegetable for sure makes sense.
Yes, something very kind of earthy and sort of like old folklore kind of adjacent. And beetroot is a very old world kind of vegetable as well, I feel like. So, but if I was to make that nice, beetroot chocolate cake. Oh,
yes. I do love a beetroot and chocolate,
Again, that very dark, rich, but a little earthy still as well. Kind of just a little, I don't know why, beetroot. My brain was like, go for cinnamon and nice things like that. Beetroot. That's the flavor.
It's got some texture to it. It's got some grit. It's a chew. Yes. Okay.
100% beetroot.
Okay.
Probably not what anyone was expecting. Yes.
No, it makes sense.
I love it.
Cool. So with all that being said, I have some things to chew on.
Oh yes.
And I'll be right back when we go to the kitchen.
Don't pick beetroot.
Okay.
Whatever you do.
I'll be right back. All right, so for the Cunning Folk, I wanted to do something a little bit like earthy and naturey, something that kind of represents that gritty part of the game, you know? So I decided I'm going to be making some apple muffins. To start with that, I need to dice 4 medium-sized apples. You can peel it if you want. You don't have to, so I'm not going to. 1, because I'm lazy. 2, I couldn't find my peeler. So I'm also kind of winging it with this recipe. I'm letting the nature spirits guide me. I'm not like, I didn't really pre-think what I was gonna do or like pre-plan anything. I'm just kind of, I'm listening. They told me some shit about you that you don't want other people to know. You want to make sure you do the dice very small and fairly even. I'm going to go ahead and dice up all of these apples, and I'll see you in a minute. All right, I've got my apples all chopped. I have them here in this bowl. I'm going to squeeze in a little bit of lemon juice. I'm pouring a little bit of sugar as well. Toss them just with my hands. And I'm going to put these aside to soften a little bit. Next, I'm going to make the eggs for our little creation. To do that, I'm making a flax egg, which is 1 part flaxseed meal, 2 parts water. I'm just going to mix that up a little bit. I'm going to set this aside until it kind of like, you know? All right, and now onto the batter. My favorite thing about muffins is the fact that you can kind of just like throw shit together, and it still kind of like turns out pretty okay. And that is my plan. So here's looking at you. I have a cup of flour, half a cup of cornmeal. I'm gonna make it a full cup of cornmeal. We're living dangerous here, it's fine. 2 more tablespoons of flaxseed meal. A cup of oats. Half a cup of white sugar. Half a cup of brown sugar. A bunch of pumpkin pie spice. You can also use just like straight up just cinnamon. But I like all of the flavors that come in pumpkin pie spice, so I'm using that. And like a handful of salt. I'm going to whisk that all together. Now I'm going to add in a cup of oil. You want to use a neutral flavorless oil. I'm using canola oil. You can use like vegetable or grapeseed oil. I wouldn't use olive oil. You could do peanut oil, but who does peanut oil anymore? What are we, a goddamn Five Guys? Whisk that in. All right, and you can now see the flaxseed has gone goopy. And like, haven't we all? But that's where we want it. So I'm going to add this into here. Continue mixing. Okay. Now I'm going to let this just sit at room temperature for like 5 minutes, just to let everything get to know each other a little bit. You know, we don't want to be strangers here. So I'll see you in a sec. I have these like super ripe bananas. They have been sitting in my fridge. That's why they're this color. They're not that brown, I promise. And I decided I wanted to add these because I feel like that'll help make it taste good. And you know, apples and bananas. I'm not going to change that or cut that out, but I'm just going to add these 2 superty duperty ripe bananas right into this. And you know, this is improv baking. We're yes-anding through it. We're yes-anding through life. I'm gonna just mash up the bananas into it. And this will help with a bunch of things. Bananas have a lot of starch in them, so it'll help add that. They also are very sweet, so it helps add that. They add to the goop factor. I'm coming for you, Gwyneth Paltrow. Okay, yeah, that's good. Oh, I'm a genius. We're good. We're working with it now. This is how I developed every recipe for my book. So now I'm going to add all of our apples. Yes, I'm going to add all of these because I want this to be apple, apple, apple. That's what you get with all this. So I'm going to add all of them just all at once because I hate myself. I'm going to switch to a better mixing machine implementation bullshit. And give it a good old sock hop, twist and turn. Alrighty. This looks interesting. Oh, I forgot. Go back about 20 minutes and add a half a teaspoon of baking powder in there. I'm gonna add this now. And a half a teaspoon of baking soda. And it's fine. It's all fine. And this is why you normally should have a recipe. All right, we're going to get these ready for baking now. I preheated my oven to 350 degrees. I have sprayed my pan. I'm not using muffin pans, or I'm not using muffin cups because I couldn't find them and I don't feel like going out to get more. And I'm leaving for PAX tomorrow. So it'll be fine. These, I'm going to do a cup. No, I'm not going to do a cup. Oh, okay. I am definitely not doing a cup. Okay. I'm going to do half a cup in each thingy-mabobber. All right. I'm going to take these beautiful babies and I'm going to bake them until they are done. I'll let you know. I'll let you know how long. I'm going to let those bake and I will see you at PAX Unplugged.
No, he didn't. Oh my god. Wait, seriously?
Hey, no, this is my interview. No.
Oh.
Okay, I'm back. They're a little smushed.
I love that they're smushed.
They just level down, so they're
Yeah.
Smaller.
Yeah, it's fine. They over-succeeded.
But yeah, these are vegan apple muffins. There's banana, there's flaxseed.
Oh.
Flaxseed, I feel like, was the closest I could get to beetroot.
That's fair. Honestly, I'm proud of you.
Yeah, but if you'd like, we
Thank you so much.
take a taste. This is the first time someone on the Eat This Game actually gets to eat their game.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, I hear you. Let's take a... Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That tastes like Cunning Folk mischief to me.
Yeah.
That's
amazing. Also, I improv baked this.
Did you?
I didn't. The only plan I had was apples.
Yeah, no, that's great.
That's the only thing. And then I was like, what do I have in my kitchen that can go with apples? And this is what happened.
Fairy tale apples? Yeah, perfect. That's great. Yeah, we're jealous.
Yeah, you should be.
Thank
so
you.
yeah, tell us just one more time where we can find the Cunning Folk and where we can find you.
100%. So if you wait. Okay. So if you want to get your hands on the Cunning Folk and cause some mischief and make mankind's life a misery in any kind of way, you can find it if you go to any of my socials. There's links in my socials. So at Emily Graymore on TikTok, Blue Sky, Instagram. You can also find it on the Impress Revolution website. It's also on Itch if you want to go directly to any of those places. But yeah, get your hands on a copy, digital or physical, and cause some mischief.
Yeah. And where can people find you all over the internet?
In those places, at Emily Graymore, at TikTok, Blue Sky, Instagram. I'm around in those places. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah. And you can always find me here at Open Table Adventures, where we'll have more interviews, more recipes, actual plays, one-shots, and so much more. So as always, I've been Dan the Baker. This has been Open Table Adventures, and you are always welcome to pull up a seat. Bye-bye. Bye.